Hello, how's everyone doing today? It is Friday, April 28th, and today we have a very special guest for you today. She's from the adult industry. Please welcome Kimber Haven. How are we doing?
We're doing good.
Oh, it's good to hear. Good to hear. Now, how did you get into the adult industry?
Well, I had a semi-normal job, and then I retired from my job because I did really well for myself. And when I retired, I got bored sitting home and doing nothing because I really didn't have to work. So I was hanging out at home. I was getting bored, so I started going on webcams and doing webcam just to keep myself busy. And I did a cam show that was a little bit different than how everybody else was doing it, and it caught on, and I got a really big following. And then one day, Wendy Williams, the TS porn star Wendy Williams, hit me up on Facebook, and she said that she had heard about my cam show, and that when she cams, people ask her if she knows me, and she wanted to meet me and invite me down to one of her T-girl parties that she does in Lexington. So I went down there to meet her, and I checked the place out, and pretty soon she asked me to join her list of T-girl dancers on stage as far as performing at the parties, and I started stripping, and I had a blast in that. And pretty soon she talked to me about getting into the adult industry, and I thought it sounded like fun, and I was, I was retired and bored, and I didn't have anything better to do, so I thought I'd give porn a try. And so she lined me up a few shoots, and the rest was history.
Okay, all right. Now, you have a radio show that's on Saturdays at 3 p.m. Pacific time. Can you give us a little more info on that?
I do. It's called the Totally Inappropriate Radio Show. It's on the Demon Seed Network. It's on 3 p.m. Pacific, and it's on 6 p.m. Eastern. And basically, it's me and my girls, the Bad Girl Mafia. It's me, Lexus Steele, and Raven Rock. And we get on radio, and we have a lot of, since we're all in the porn industry, we have a lot of friends also in the industry. So we get guests to come on, and basically we talk about extremely inappropriate adult-themed things that we find hilarious, and ask our guests questions that they're not normally used to answering.
Okay. What would be a like a standard question you may ask on there on your show?
Well, I've done a lot of interviews on radio shows and so forth, and they, you get the pretty standard questions of what you like, what kind of scenes you do, like for example, how you got into the industry and stuff like that.
Right, right.
I try to ask them something a little more off the wall, like asking what their favorite Disney film is, and then ragging on them and talking shit about that particular Disney movie. Or if I have a black guy on the show, like I have a black guy named B-Dog coming on the show, which I'm really good friends with.
Uh huh.
I plan on asking him what's the deal with black guys and why they like white chicks so much.
Okay. All right. Now you have a something you're working on, a follow up to Dog's Angel. It's a Charlie's Angels parody. Can you give us a little more info on that?
Yeah, we filmed a parody called Dog's Angels, which was a spoof off of Charlie's Angels. And we decided to produce another film, which we had a little bit of difficulty over the last few months in Kentucky. Since I'm located in Kentucky and not someplace like L.A., we only have a good 4 to 5 months of decent weather a year.
Mm-hmm.
So when we're having to do exterior shots, because there's a lot of comedy in our production, we have to halt production until the weather gets nice. So now that the weather's nice, we can finish up the project. But we're filming a movie called The T-Team, which is a parody off the A-Team, which has the characters T.A. Barebackus, Facial, Hannibal, and it's basically a comedy spoof off the A-Team.
Okay, all right. Now you have a ChatterBait room where people can see you cam, and it is at tskimber.com.
That's where I do all of my cam shows. That's what I got known first for before I got into the adult industry, because I did a very unusual cam show that most people weren't doing. Most cam girls go on there and basically play with themselves, but I decided I come from a performer background. So when I would do my cam shows, since I was a stand-up comedian at one time, I would tell jokes and do celebrity impressions and do some sexy dancing and do sexual stuff, and it became kind of like an adult-themed variety show almost.
Okay. Now, I also have here that now I am 5'5", 5'5" on a good day if the wind's blowing right, and it says here that you stand 6'8" in heels.
Yes, I'm a giant. I before I transitioned, I was a enormous man. I was a heavyweight cage fighter, and
Right.
I was a beast. I looked a lot like the WWE wrestler and MMA fighter Brock Lesnar.
Oh, okay.
I used to fight at 265 pounds,
Oh, wow.
and I was just a massive person. So yeah, I'm still. Of course, I don't weigh 265 anymore.
Right.
I've changed my body since transitioning, but I'm still extremely large, and it's hilarious because I normally tower over normal-sized people. So when I go to an award show, it's hilarious because I'm easy to find. Because I'm the same height as Bull from Night Court, so I'm towering over everybody.
Right. Yeah, I'm gonna be this Monday. I'll be at a WWE event in Sacramento. Maybe check that out. Now, were you
Cool. I used to love wrestling when I was growing up.
Yeah. My kid, he likes it. We're taking him to his first event, so hopefully he'll like it. Now, were you a fan of porn before you got into the industry? And like, if so, who were your favorite performers to watch?
I think everybody's a fan of porn, whether they like to admit it or not.
Right.
Porn is one of those things where people don't want to talk about it, but everyone freaking watches it. Everybody's at home at one time, especially men. I've never known a man who wasn't a connoisseur of the kind of porn that they happen to like. Of course, when I was watching porn, I was into T-girl porn.
Okay.
And I used to love people like Bailey J. I used to think Bailey J was very, very sexy.
Okay.
I used to watch and enjoy videos with Morgan Bailey, and I got to meet her at the AVN, and she was very, very cool. And I'm thinking to myself, even porn stars can be starstruck, and I'm thinking to myself, wow, I'm meeting somebody I used to talk to all the time. This is kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I used to like watching Vanessa Del Rio when I was a lot younger.
Oh my God, she was hot.
Yeah, she was.
She had the greatest lips.
Oh yeah.
In porn.
Yeah.
Her lips were to die for, and her oral talents were unmatched.
Oh yeah.
Vanessa Del Rio was so damn sexy.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. She was definitely ahead of her time. That's for sure. Now, do you?
Yeah, just Vanessa Del Rio BJ videos all day long. Those were awesome.
Oh yeah. I used to I don't think I still got it. I have to check in my old VCR case, but I used to like the movie The Filthy Rich. She was in with Herschel Savage. That was a pretty good movie.
Yeah, she had what guys call DSLs.
Mm-hmm.
She had the perfect DSLs.
Yeah. Now, do you ever watch like your scenes afterwards, or cam things after you're done?
I do. Well, I have to because I have my own porn production company, and usually after we wrap a shoot, I spend about 10 to 12 hours editing the footage. So I have to watch everything in great detail and adjust lighting and colors, and I run it through an editing program, so I have to watch all of the scenes in detail.
Okay.
So yeah, I watch all of my scenes, and I have to slice them up and cut them up and adjust them to make them, the best that they can be before I release them. So yeah, I watch my scenes all the time, and a lot of the times fans will bring up a scene I've done and say, "Oh, this is my favorite scene you've done," and I'll forget what they're talking about, so I'll have to go look it up just to remember which scene it was that they're talking to me about.
Right, right. Now, do you have any hobbies or interests that you do?
I used to. I used to be able to enjoy hobbies. Now I work probably 12 to 14 hours a day, usually 7 days a week. I take one day off a month. I make myself take a single day off a month just for my mental health. But normally I'm working nonstop from the moment I wake up to the moment I crash. So I don't have a lot of time anymore for hobbies. But when I did have time, I used to like piddling around on the electric guitar or reading comic books. And I used to be kind of a geek when I was younger, and I used to love playing Dungeons and Dragons, as dorky as it is. I used to love that.
Okay, all right. Now, what important lessons have you learned, about being in the industry?
Well, I think a lot of girls get in it for the wrong reason, and because of that, they don't succeed or they fail at what they're trying to accomplish. They're going at it from a monetary standpoint, and it's very difficult to make a good living in porn. It's kind of like moving to LA because you want to be a famous Hollywood actor, and you end up waiting tables. There's not a lot of money to be made in porn unless you're like one of the top girls.
Right.
I've been fortunate enough to make good money in the industry. But if you're going into the industry to get rich, then you're probably going to be horribly disappointed. You should get into this industry because you're having fun and having a blast. If it's because you have to pay the rent, you probably should find a more reliable way to do so.
Right, right. Now, based on your time in the industry thus far, is there any misconception about the business from those outside of it that you wish to dispel, that you could dispel?
Yeah, there's a few. One, of course, is that porn stars look like their pictures all the time, because we don't. We look our best when we do our photo shoots and video shoots. So for instance, right now, I'm just hanging out in my living room in my PJs, no makeup on, not looking very glamorous, with my slippers on. And another thing is that porn shoots are sexy affairs, because they're not. If you've ever been on a live porn set, you realize how unsexy the process is. Equating a shoot, an actual video, to real sex is like equating the Avengers movie to real life. You're only having sex for like 5 to 10 minutes at a time. Then they cut, they move all the lighting, we change all the equipment, we readjust all the makeup, we get situated again, the guy goes in the corner, he gets ready again, we come in, we change positions, we do it for another 5 to 10 minutes, and then break, and everybody has some water, something to eat, we change everything around. It's the most unsexy, unfluid process in the world. To make a finished product is making a movie. It's just like any movie in Hollywood. What you're seeing on film is entertainment, but behind the scenes, it's not. It's all illusion.
Right, right. Yeah, and most of the guests I've had on here have pretty much given me like a time frame. A 30-minute scene that you would watch generally takes anywhere from 4 to 6 hours to shoot.
Yes, it's an all-day affair. I mean, every time a guy sees a porno video, they think they just turn on the camera and they fuck for 20 minutes and then cut, wrap, and they don't realize it took all day to film. And if a guy really studies a porno scene, and he sees every time the camera changes and goes to a different angle. That was an entire process to reset up the set. It was a completely different scene, and it's very time consuming. So yeah, it's typically 4 to 6 hours to shoot every single scene. It's an all day affair.
Right, right. Now, who's your favorite male or female performer to work with, and why?
I would guess my favorite male performer to work with would be Thor Johnson, because I know him really well. I've known him for a while now, and we've worked together so many times, and I'm very comfortable with him. And he's been part of my production company. He was actually the first male talent I signed with my production company because I enjoyed working with him so much. He was extremely professional on the set, which is a rarity, and he was able to perform whenever we needed him to perform, which is also hard to find because, you know, guys can't just go to work. I mean, it's a tough job. Guys can't be ready in the blink of an eye or come on cue, and Thor was extremely good at his job. He lived and breathed porn. He was good at it. So unfortunately, he's moving to Vegas soon, and I won't be able to do a whole lot of production with him anymore, which I'll miss. As far as girls, Raven Rocks, I film with all the time. I have filmed so many scenes with Raven Rocks. She's the person I work with the most often, and we're really, really good friends when we're not shooting porn.
Okay.
So it's a very comfortable environment, and it's very enjoyable. But at the same time, shoots take longer because we're always joking around, and we're having too much fun, and we're all joking on the set. So usually our production manager ends up yelling at us and tells us to get to work.
Okay, okay. Now, what's an ordinary day like for you when you're not shooting?
Spending a good 12 hours sitting in front of my computer.
Okay.
Because I am very active on social media. I have to run a production company. I have to talk to several people. I have to line up talent. I have to correlate with my production manager to get everything situated. And now that I have the radio show, I have to work with my production manager to get that going as well. But I also spend 5 to 6 hours every single day answering fan mail. Every guy who writes me and sends me a message on social media or sends me an email, I respond to. I think I'm one of the very few porn stars in the industry that will literally respond to every single fan that writes me, and I'll take time to write them back. If they took time out of their day to write me, they get a response from me. And I've been accused many times of using an assistant or a bot to respond to them. I try to explain to them, no, it's really me talking to you. It's I'm responding to you because you wrote me.
Right.
And a lot of them are surprised to find out that when they write me, I write back.
Right. Yeah, that's definitely a good way to basically, keep some loyal fans. I mean, yeah, because you're right. Yeah, a lot of them, they don't really, take the time to get back to them, or maybe they use one of those bot things.
I respond to every single one, and it takes me 5 to 6 hours average because I receive between 300 and 400 messages or emails every single day from men all over the world.
Right.
Whether it be people messaging me on Facebook or a social network site that I'm on, or emailing me directly, or sending me a text message because I give all of my website numbers, my personal cell phone number, to text me where they can get to know me. So I spend most of my time talking to the guys that are supporting me and my fan base. And it's so cool because when I go to an expo and I meet my fans, most of the time these guys know me and I know them. I know them by name. I've been talking to them for years. So when they meet me at an expo, they're like, I'm so-and-so. I immediately know who they are because I've been talking to them for months.
Right, right. Now, speaking of expos and stuff, are there any conventions coming up the rest of this year that you're going to be attending?
There are. There's two main ones. I'm flying out. I'm going to be in Miami for the XBiz Cam Awards, June 1st. I'm nominated for Trans Cam Performer for the XBiz Cam Awards, so I'm going to fly out to Miami. And then it's going to be off to St. Petersburg, Florida in August to attend FetishCon, which I attended last year, and I won every trans award in the award ceremony that year, which was amazing. I swept the awards.
All right.
They only had 2 different categories for trans girls, and I won both awards. So I'll be returning this year because I had so much fun last year.
All right. Good. Good to hear. Now, do you get recognized in real life? And if so, do you have any like funny or crazy stories interacting with fans and stuff?
I do get recognized. I'm kind of hard to miss. I mean, most men have watched transsexual porn at some point, and a lot of men are very, very into it. It's a huge market. I think we're one of the actually most searched terms as far as porn goes. So there's a huge fan base, and I have approximately about 150,000 fans worldwide. So every once in a while, I'll be going about my daily life, and I'll run into one. And I was trying to fly out. I was trying to fly out from an airport, and sure enough, a fan came up to me and asked me if I was Kimber Haven, and I'm like, yes, and he wanted to take a picture with me, which was fine and cool. So he's taking a picture with me, and he's grinding. He's got a raging heart on. He's wearing sweatpants. He's got a raging heart on, and he's behind me, grinding into me during this photo. So I'm like, okay, I'm being nice. I'm like, okay, I got to go get my flight.
Mm-hmm.
So I take a picture with him and everything, give him a kiss on the cheek, and call it a day. So me and my crew, which I'm traveling with, we decide to grab a quick bite to eat at a restaurant there before we hop on our plane because it's a long flight from Vegas all the way back to Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
So while I'm sitting there in the restaurant, he comes in. He had followed me, and he comes into the restaurant, and he wants to sit down and have lunch with us. And I had to be nice. I says, hon, you know, I'm here with my crew. We're just trying to eat before we go to the plane. I just, you know, we wanted to spend a little time alone eating before we got on the plane. And it broke my heart because he looked like a scorned puppy dog when he left. But I mean, there's just a point where, you know, you gotta say, hey, you know, pictures and a kiss on the cheek, that's fine. You can grind into me, that's okay. But don't invite yourself to lunch with me while I'm eating with my friends.
Yeah, exactly. There's a point where you don't cross over. You know, it's like you said, you see in the airport, or if you see someone else in the airport, you walk up, say hi, get your autograph, get a picture. If they say yes, great, leave it at that. Get your picture and go and call it a day.
And I was so tired at the time too. I had been at the AVNs for 4 days. I was working 18 hours a day at the AVNs. I was nominated this year, and I was exhausted, and I was trying to fly home, and I hadn't eaten all day. I just wanted to sit down with my friends and eat before we all had to fly back on a very uncomfortable economy flight. And he was just being a little too obsessive.
Right.
But most guys are not open publicly about liking trans girls, so I don't have a lot of problem with guys walking up to me often. That was a rare occurrence for me. However, if I'm out and about and I'm shopping, or I go to Walmart or someplace, I have guys write me all the time and say, hey, did I see you at Walmart? Or, hey, did I see you here? And I'm like, yeah, I was there. They didn't have the guts to walk up and talk to me because, you know, they don't want everybody else in Walmart knowing they're into transsexuals. Yeah. It's kind of hard to not know I'm transsexual since I'm almost 7 feet tall.
Right.
So a lot of my fans won't publicly acknowledge me because they don't want the world to know they like trans girls.
Right, right. Now, are there any current or upcoming projects you're working on that you'd like to mention that I may have missed, you know, at the top of the show?
I'm completing the T team. Once that's wrapped, I'm going to be starting on a couple of other film projects. One is Tranny Campfire Stories, which is a horror spoof anthology of scary tales relating to trannies. I think one of the tales is called Beware Tranny. So it should be cute. And then the other one will be Trannies in Space, which
Oh,
is
okay.
basically Star Wars, Star Trek kind of old sci-fi spoof with trannies.
Okay. Okay. Now I'm gonna you were referring to some of the awards that you've won. You've got two uh, 2016 FetishCon awards for Best Transgender Fetish Alternative Performer and Best Transgender Alternative Cam Performer, and three 2007 Grossie Awards and Gross Misconduct Show. And in 2017,
Yes.
in 2017 you were nominated for the AVN Fan Award for Favorite Trans Performer and XBiz 2017 Cam Awards for Best Trans Cam Model. Very, very
I was
nice.
also nominated for the Cam Awards in Barcelona, Spain, but I'm not sure which that one was called. I didn't win. That was a couple of months ago.
Okay. All right. Yeah, very, very nice resume.
I'm snagging some nominations. You can't win them all though, but I'm happy. I haven't been in the business all that long, maybe about a year and a half, maybe going on 2 years, and I already have 5 awards on my mantle. So
Okay.
considering that, I haven't been doing it too long, I mean, I can't compete with somebody like Wendy Williams, who was my mentor, I've been over to her place. She has an entire trophy case of AVN awards, and PEA awards, and she has a very impressive award collection. But she's been doing it for 15 years, and she's the most highly decorated trans performer in the world. So
Okay. Now, those of you who are interested, definitely look her up on her website, kimberhaven.com. And again, check out her Chatterbait room at tskimber.com as well. Now,
my website's pretty wild.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Now, is there anything that you'd like to say to the fans and the listeners here?
Well, obviously, I want to thank them for their continued support and the fact that they actually like the stuff I do, which is amazing because I'm just making porn that I consider hot and sexy because I produce my own stuff and I own my own content. So I just produce my own fantasies to film and my own really fucked up thoughts and everything. And for some reason, guys really dig what I'm making, which is a huge win because not only am I having fun doing what I'm doing, I'm writing and creating these movies, and guys seem to love my work. And I'm not only acting in them, I'm producing and writing these things. So it's like they enjoy my art, not only my fucking, but they enjoy my jokes. They enjoy my writing, which I love to death. So I love my fans so much because they'll even write me and they'll make comments about when they laugh during my porn, which to me is even better than when they say, they were jerking off to it, because I love to make people laugh. And if I throw a joke into a parody and they crack up and I land a joke, then I'm super happy with that.
All right. Well, I definitely want to thank you, for being on the show, and we'd love to have you back in the near future if you'd like to come back.
Of course. I'll come back anytime you want me, baby.
Okay. And best of luck to you in the industry. I want to wish you a lot of success.
All right. Thank you so much for having me on.
All right. Thank you. And we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Bye.
Bye. All right, everyone. That was Kimber Haven, adult film performer. Obviously, she's a transgender performer, so definitely check her out. Again, you can see her stuff at kimberhaven.com. That's KIMBERHAVN.com. So, guys, I want to thank you guys for listening. This has been the podcast by Mata, and before we go, I want to give a big thanks again to Erica Icon at the Rub PR. She's a big supporter of the show, so I definitely want to give her a shout out and thank her for all she does for the show. If you are in the industry and you are looking for someone to PR rep, check her out. So Again, I want to thank you guys for listening. Guys, I want you guys to have a good weekend today, or excuse me, good weekend, and have a great Friday. And we'll see you next time. Talk to you soon.